Kings and Queens, Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Trust you and yours are well and you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you my esteemed subscribers. You're loved, celebrated and appreciated. Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger unveils common identity. Yes, it's a good news from this end. I keep telling you whenever I talk about the Sahel, there is this joy that I have. I can't explain it, but I have this joy because when you look at Africa, you think that is there any hope? Can we still survive? Can we cut ourselves from the hold of, imperialism, the hold of colonialism and the rest of them? But when you look at the Sahel, you have your answer that yes, that there is hope that we can cut ourselves from the hold of, all this Western powers holding on to us so much that it's like they cannot be cut away. Okay, so the story behind the Sahel is a story that a lot of you know about already because you've watched videos from different creators, you've watched videos from different analysts, from different Pan-Africans, exposing to you all what is happening in the Sahel. Now, when the coup started in the Sahel, and it was in the rise, a lot of tension down the Sahel, I believed the Sahel. Yeah, it's not today. Like I told you, I had the feeling that this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. I had the feeling. And all my videos about the Sahel from the beginning have been a positive one. I believe that the revolution it wasn't controlled by any Western body. It's a revolution that we need at the point where it came, and I was so happy that we have people like Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goïta, and General Tiani having the mind. It shows that we still have Africans who really want to cut off from this, who want to be free, who are ready to sacrifice themselves. And I tell you what this freedom fighters, wise men in the Sahel are doing, it's not easy. They put their life on the line and they need to be appreciated. Like, we can't even talk about them enough. We can't talk about them enough because it was a critical moment. Their life was not even sure. They were not even sure of preserving their life when they took up this serious task. They could have been killed. It was I don't know if you understand when you know that the battle you are embarking on is a life and death battle. But these men still put their head. They still put their head in, and that's why we are so proud of these Sahel leaders. You understand now? They would have been killed when they took up this task. And after they took up this task and they succeeded, look at assassination left, right, center. Assassination attempt orchestrated by Europe and America. It was not hidden. France did everything, paid people who were close to take out these men. And at the end, look at us here today. Is the battle over yet? No, the battle is not over. We are still in here, and that's why I keep telling you that you should keep sending positive vibration and energy the way of these Sahel leaders. They need it. They need that positivity. When you wake up every morning, remember the Sahel leaders and ask the universe to shower them with more protection. Shower them with more wisdom. Immediately, these three countries cut off finally from the ECoWAS as of last month. Majority of Nigerians were sent back from Niger. Did they do anything wrong? No. They are protecting the interest of their nation. Nigeria have proved that they cannot be trusted. After all this that happened, we were thinking that the 1 year window gap that was given, the thought I had was that Nigeria government might just sit and work things out with Niger because they are neighbors. Okay, they are brothers and sisters. They work things out instead of allowing the enemy. But Nigeria decided to allow the enemy. Okay? Keep going to the French government, having tea with Macron, moving around with Macron. And you see what happened? To the point that The Nigerian government was accused of working with France to, you know, to allow France to come build military base in a forest. There is a forest called Gabar. You heard that. I brought that information here. General Tiani was saying it, that the president of Nigeria is aware of these plans of the French government planning to erect a military base directly in that forest. And if there is a military base in that forest, a lot will start happening. The resources of Niger will not be saved anymore. But the Nigerian government denied and said, no, nothing like that is happening. They are not doing anything. But this information, they got it already. Tell me, would any sane leader want to have anything to do with a nation that is working with the enemy of theirs? No. So this is just, I'm just giving you heads up about situations in the Sahel at this moment. They've cut off from ECoWAS finally, like they've cut off from ECoWAS, like finally. It's not like they're saying they're going to leave anymore. The 1 year window gap has elapsed. They've finally packed themselves out of ECoWAS, and they have unveiled their common identity, and that's what they'll be using within themselves at this point. So let's listen to Adamu Garba, a political analyst, analyze this, and I love his analysis, by the way. So let's listen to him and take it up from there if there is time. Okay.
I saw the Confederation of the Sahelian states, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, has unveiled a common identity around the federation with a common flag and now launching a common passport. This is a very lofty ideal, I must admit to you, because the civilizations around the River Nile, the River Congo, and the River Niger has been one continuous region that is rich in culture, rich in history, and rich in tradition. And we used to be one. All of us interconnected together by destiny, by common identity and common humanity. And this region was the richest, most prosperous region prior to the coming of the colonial masters. So the fact that it is aiming to create a federation where all these regions are coming together, carrying out this common identity framework and common borders, I think is a very lofty ideal for all countries around this region to actually admire. I personally admire that. Because if you go back to history, the Mali Empire, the Ghana Empire, and the Songhai Empire, the Masina dynasty, down to Oyonle, Kororofa Kingdom, Benin Kingdom, and all these areas used to be one. Before the colonials sat down in Berlin Conference and divide us like their plots of land. And that's what they have been using to plunder our resources, to create divide and rule among ourselves, and make us to believe that we are a different set of people so that they can continue the exploitation and destruction of our common wealth and common identity. And the fact that this approach is now reversing that trend, even if we don't agree with the leaderships in those places, some that don't agree, I think it's also a lofty ideal that we should aspire to come together as one nation. And that is why I think it should be commended for every responsible sub-Saharan African, especially within the civilization around the Lake Chad Basin, River Niger, River Congo, and River Nile. However, the region used to have a name. They call it Nigritia, or the Negro land. This continuous region is a region of black Africans that have a lot of resources in terms of gold, in terms of mineral resources, and a high level of sophisticated civilization. From the Nubian civilization to Hausa state civilization to Fulani civilization to Borno civilization to several other civilizations that transcend history. This region began to decline when the Gama decided to come into this area and began to create a divisional tendencies that we see today. It was a colonial project that we have these borders that you see today. And these activities is trying to reverse this tide. So we should have a proper name, maybe the Nigeria Federation, because that's the name of the place. I will share the map after this video. You will see how the map is, and this map was drawn long time ago by Leo Africanus. Of course, people don't like him because he was one of also a colonial project, but he drew this map because he moved around and drew this map, you know. So Leo Africanus actually have this map since 14th century. So this is who we are traditionally, and the only way we can destroy the colonial project, both in our minds and in our lands and in our borders and in our identities, it is when we aspire to see ourselves as one nation with common destiny, confronting our common challenges together as one. So I think AES should be more strategic. Instead of having a very long name, you know, Federation of the Sahelian States, it is important to look at it as a Nigeria, like the Federation, the Nigeria Federation, because this is who we are. So let's see how this project continues to evolve. But I think if Africa could aspire to be one strong, united force, there is no any power, both the Western powers and the Eastern powers or the European powers, that will ever have a play in our activities without us deciding what that play is going to be. The more united we are, the more stronger we become, and the better the chances for our continuous survival, and the better the chances for revival of our civilization, and the better the chances of success of each and every person within these borders. Thank you.
All right, Majesties, that was it. And there was something he said I want to draw your mind to it, that borders are colonial projects. And that is for a fact, because when you look into situations in the motherland from time past, when we got involved with these people, everything about us changed. And he said they sat in the Berlin conference and divided us like we were their, you know, farmland or something. This is something I keep bringing to you here every day. There's no way someone would tell you that I love you and the person do not see your interest, but only his or her interest. It doesn't work. It's not possible. These are the same people that divided us amongst themselves, come into our lands and manipulate us, take out resources, turn us into slaves. They enslaved our foreparents. And these are the same people that come to tell you that, okay, at this time we are bringing different religions to you because we love you so much. We want to come and give you aid. Because we love you so much, we want to come and help. From time immemorial, they've never helped Africa. All they do was to help themselves. Every decision they make was for their own interest. It has never been for the interest of the African people. There is no white man out there that will come and help Africa just like that. It's not possible. It's not possible. All that they do, they have interests, they have agendas. You listen to their confessions recently here and there, you understand better what Abigail is saying. But it is so difficult, and I don't know why it's so difficult for Africans to understand these days, that no white man or white group of people or philanthropists or whatever you call them that will come to Africa and say, okay, I just want to give aid to Africa just like that. No. There is something behind it. There's something that they have done, or there's something that they are planning to do at the moment. And the truth is that the Sahel countries have exposed towards the hypocrisy of these people and that of our democratic leaders. Because our democratic leaders work hand in hand with them. And another truth is that these democratic leaders, it's like there are mineral resources in the undergrounds of countries in Africa that these democratic leaders have sold in advance. And that is why the collective West, different countries in the collective West, different sovereign powers in the collective West, look at some part of Africa as their entitlement. Okay? This is a reason. Your democratic leaders that love money so much have sold you and your land to these people. So the moment they begin to see agitation that they do not orchestrate, they get so angry. And that is why they are so angry with the Sahel states today. Because the democratic leaders in the Sahel states and some military leaders that ruled before that were controlled by them had already sold these resources, the land and the people, to Macron. It was sold. So having these freedom fighters was like a breach of contract. This is not what we agreed from the beginning. We paid for this. This is our property. They look at countries in Africa as their property. So you are sitting there thinking you have a country, you have a resources, but it's not for you. It has been sold by your greedy leaders. And when we talk about leaders, I always try to draw your mind to the fact that these leaders came amongst us. They came out of us. These leaders were not thrown from the sky or thrown from the pit of hell to rest. They were burned. They have parents. They grew up. They were nurtured in the same community that we are living in. So if our leaders are corrupt, are bad, and as worse as they are, it is because our community is what it is. So we have to draw our attention into working on ourselves more, instead of pointing accusing finger, because these leaders came out of our communities. If we are sincere with ourselves enough and we love each other enough, we would not in any way sell our nation, our resources, or our people, or will not do anything that will endanger the life of our people in our community as a melanated people. I'm going to see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always your majesties. Bye for now.